It's the start of the day. Let's have some water. Let's pump ourselves up. Namaskar, sorry.
Udaipur is frequently counted as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I mean, it's not difficult to see why. Just look at it. But that tag has also brought with it the problem of mass tourism. From its culture, its heritage to its natural beauty, all that's good in the city is feeling the pressure of the growing influx of tourists. As someone visiting for work, can I make the most of this gorgeous city without adding too much to its problems? When it comes to domestic travel in India, trains are your greenest bet. They're almost 70% more carbon efficient than short flights. Got a few tricks up my sleeve to make the most of any long-haul journey. The first being to shut off all those pesky Vice messages. Sit back, relax, and enjoy me some me time.
Udaipur is brimming with the most beautiful architecture and serene views, but it's also filled with traffic. I found it more rewarding to truly get to know the traditions and things that make a city tick rather than just skimming through the tourist top 10s. And what's a better way to do this than through the eyes of a local legend?
Vishal Singh is an eco-maverick, working to make the city waste-free. He organizes wisdom walks for students, architects, and travelers like me to really discover the old city.
You know, there are dime a dozen tours and tourist guides. What makes your wisdom walk so special?
I'm trying to make you become more relative to the city.
Yeah.
So there's two ways. So there are tourists and who are just want to see touristy stuff, and then they're who are explorer. I want to know about the city. I want to see what Udaipur is.
So what is the difference between a lot of the newer buildings and the older buildings that you have seen?
So one, of course, the beauty. There is not detailed work. It's more straight lines. There are no curves. Old houses were more detailed, and spaces for people to see outside. Making more life to not depend on the technology, because there was no technology. So how we can make our houses more sustainable? So we have good summer, so it should be colder. In the winter, it should be warmer.
Oh wow, this is beautiful.
The purpose of these old houses were more to sustain for the longer period. This is 250-year-old. And newer buildings made out of cement, they're maximum they can go for 70 years. Especially walking on the street and be alive, being the explorer, being wanted to know more. You can also go in a Wikipedia or Google and find out anything about Udaipur. But that's not Udaipur.
That's not Udaipur.
Udaipur is on the street. Udaipur is to talking to somebody. Udaipur is to see the small detail. I've been doing this 12 plus years. I'm still found something new, architecture thing, some new event is happening.
In every single gully.
Every single gully, something is happening. And that makes me more excited, still. I'm grown up in this area and still it's not finishing.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing your version of Udaipur. Let's go. Now it's really tempting to be lazy and call an Uber or a car to go long distances. But it feels way more satisfying to find a cleaner option. In Udaipur, that means hailing an electric rickshaw.
In a city overcrowded with thousands of hotels, hostels, and pseudo-Haveli homestays, it's a good idea to stay away from all the clutter. Just 30 minutes from the city, Lalit and his family are converting an erstwhile mining hill in the Aravalis into an organic farm and bed and breakfast.
How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's so nice to be here after hearing so much about the place. Just look at this lush green. Not a single building in sight. What a change from the city. So this used to be a sort of mining operation earlier. Lalit and his family have converted all of this into a farm. They're in the middle of making this a sustainable farm. They're trying their best to preserve this threatened slice of rural Udaipur.
I give my soul, my heart, my time to it. For electricity, we have a solar power. So we run our electricity only on the solar. We also made a huge water tank to harvest our rainwater, create our own ecosystem, so we don't need things from outside world to live our life.
Funny, crazy stories that you have while building La Luna, or even recently with guests.
I remember recently there was a pretty day, something like this, in the afternoon, and in the river.
Yeah.
And we saw a leopard basically. Well, it's not a scary thing that, but it was a nice thing.
It was
and
just peaceful.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
They saw me, I saw them, and they just passed from there.
Yeah.
There are wildcats here basically, but to see them very closely and like that, it was nice. So
Thank you so much for opening your house and your heart to us.
Throw a stone in Udaipur and chances are it's going to hit a tourist looking for dal bati churma. But the best kept culinary secrets actually lie away from the city.
Not a lot of people associate Udaipur's cuisine with the Bhil Gameti tribe. They're one of the many tribes that have been marginalized and live along the city's outskirts. By sharing their age-old traditions with tourists like me and hopefully you, they're giving a shot in the arm to their culture through these unique dining experiences. Let's check out what these OGs of sustainable cooking have whipped up for us today.
The Bhil tribe's recipes are all equally part of Udaipur's culinary culture that you won't typically find within city limits. Giving their food a platform through your mouth can help preserve their practices, bringing them back to the mainstream.
You know, when Lalit brought out the batis, I was like, oh, it's another bati churma. But it's so much heavier than the batis that you get in the city. And it just tastes so different.
As I approach my final day in Udaipur, I'd like to take back more than just memories. Inspired by the city's colourful spirit, I've decided to create a unique little memento that is literally made out of my experience here in Udaipur. Throughout my journey, I've been collecting sounds across Udaipur, and now it's time to put those recordings to good use.
So I discovered this really cool duo called Ajaib Ghar. They conduct these creative coding workshops where they take sounds and sights from all over Udaipur and they convert it into an actual beat.
We call this creative coding. The technique is creative coding, where you code to do something artistic. We want to bring culture and tech together.
I really love the city. I've been inspired by the colors, the sights, the sounds, and I've tried my best to collect as much as I can of Udaipur. Based on everything you just described, I think I'm really excited to see how we could maybe co-create something based on what we've collected.
That will be awesome.
So we've got all your images in the set, including this beautiful one of the bridge.
Yeah.
Let's just all say UDS like you just said.
All right, let's say UDS. And would that be the official name of our beat? The UDS?
We could name it in the code.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's drop the UDS.
From old to new legends, Udaipur is bursting with colours, sights and flavours that go beyond the typical tourist pit stops.
When planning this trip, I was really nervous about exploring a city that's already so overrun with tourists. But the last few days have proved that with a little bit of curiosity and effort, it's really easy to lean in and find a whole bunch of options that allow you to explore a city without adding to its woes. Scratch the surface and Udaipur is bursting with sustainable options that allow you to love it and leave it better than when you stepped in.